Hello crafters, I'm JanB, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this Christmas card. I don't know whether you can see, but on the background here I have used tone on tone, and yes, you can see, I stamped some Christmas trees. So to start off with, the cardstock you'll need, the card base measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 inches, scored and folded in half. The next layer is garden green, which measures 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and then a Sahara sand layer, which is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 inches. A piece of vellum, this is our vellum cardstock, which measures 4 inches by 3 inches. And then a piece of Sahara sand to make our Christmas trees with. Let me just move that up there. So they're the pieces that we need. First thing I'm going to do is, on the Sahara sand layer, I'm going to stamp the trees. And the trees are from the White Christmas set. It's these here, and I'm also going to be using the Thinking of You at Christmas sentiment. So as I said, this is tone on tone, so I'm using Sahara sand, and I will just bring a scrap of paper over. And I'm going to be cutting out using the deco labels. So this first tree is fine to go near the top here because the centrepiece will be cut out. There we go, very, very light. And then I'm going to stamp up just this side of the tree, and I'm going to stamp it over this side. And then I'm going to stamp the single tree, or ink up the single tree rather, and I'm going to stamp that over this side. A lot of this is going to be covered up by the trees or cut out, so it doesn't have to be terribly precise. So the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out using the deco label frame. I keep mine in the DVD cases, and I always cut my shapes out so I know exactly what's inside there. But one thing I would say, if you do copy this idea, don't try and economise on your magnetic sheet like I have, because I find that that's just not enough to hold everything in. A complete sheet is a lot better. Right, I'm using number 2. I always start counting from the inside. The smaller the size, the smaller the number. So that's number 2. I'll move my card out of the way while I bring my big shot over. I don't think I need my scrap piece anymore, so I'll get rid of that. Right, okay. So for this part I'm going to be using my magnetic base, one cutting board, my cardstock, and then I'm just going to place this so that it's slightly towards the top. All I want is to get the sentiment in here, up here, and once I've got that, I'm not too worried about the bottom part. Okay, so that is about halfway across. But I'm not going to fuss about with that, that looks good. And I put my other layer on my sandwich, run it through. So that cuts out beautifully. I'll save that, I'm sure I'll find another use for that one. That can go back in the box. And then next I want to do the embossing. That's for the vellum on the inside of my cutout here. The one I've used, the embossing folder I've called use is called On Point, and it's this one. So I mean, to me they're trees. I'm surprised it's been called On Point, but there we go. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to try and get some trees in the middle of this piece. I didn't think about it when I did this one, but that's a whole benefit of doing something a second time. At least you can you see? Yes, you can see how I've got the trees in the centre of my piece here. So I'm happy with that. Close that. And with my base here, I always open up the two so that I don't use any tabs. I find I get the best results like that. So that's one part of my sandwich, another part of my sandwich, and then I will put that through as well. There we go. And that comes through really nicely. Okay, you can see that. Right, let me move the big shot out of the way now because I don't need that anymore. Move that one. So the next part I'm going to do, let's put my card back there, is with my scrap piece I'm going to stamp my trees, and I'm going to use garden green. I've already got my stamp prepared. I need 3 images here. These would be quite easy just to cut out by themselves, but I do have the punch, which makes life even easier. There we go. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just getting all my bits ready to start off with, and then I'll assemble my card. So I'll punch my trees out. There we go. So I think that's everything ready now. I will just do my sentiment. This is a Stampin' Up block. It's one that I got when I bought one of the card making kits. Right, try not to go out of the camera like I did the other day. Is that straight? Not really, but it's good enough. So I'll now put my card together. I've already put my first base on there. I need to put my vellum on the back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my snail and just run that on all 4 sides. Make sure that I've got it the right way round, that's right. I mean, whether you have it the embossed side facing out or debossed, entirely up to you, matter of choice. There we go. Yes. And then I'm going to adhere this to my card front. Again, I'm going to use snail. Really quite sticky. It's very good. I'm going to a little bit over the edge there. Put it back in. Okay, just line this up. There we go. So you see quite a nice amount of trees there. I've mounted these using dimensionals. So what I'm going to do, I'll do the one on the left hand side first. There's that one. And then I'll do the other two. I was going to just put one down with snail and then the other one raised, but I decided I'd put them both up on dimensionals. And I'm glad I did. I think it looks good. Okay, so we have, I want them staggered a bit. So I've put that one there. There we go. And then the last thing that I did was I took some of the basic pearls. Here we go. As you can see, I use these DVD cases for all sorts of things. They're great for storage. I've used my blendabilities. I used the lighter colour of the what's this, light cherry cobbler, and I inked them, painted them over. I did this quite a little while ago so that they're nice and dry. And then I just used my ever faithful sharp tweezers. Oops. That's better. And I think, looking at it, I must have allowed 7 for each tree. If you were using the bigger pearls, then I don't think you'd need so many. Very, very simple card, but really quite quite impressive. It looks as if there's a lot more work involved in this than there really is. Come on. If you didn't want to use pearls for this, you could use the what is this? The Dazzling Details cherry cobbler, and just do the little blobs, put it aside and allow it to dry. I'm not sure that blobs is a correct technical term, but as long as you understand what I mean, that's fine. I think this is probably because I've put hand cream on before I started. I'm sure it is. I can say either that, or maybe because they are so small. But I think it's the hand cream, it's making them stick to my fingers. I'll have to try and remember that next time. That's right, got one left over, that's fine. Oh, there we go. That's today's card, and that was the one that I made previously. I hope you like it, and I hope you give it a try. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'll be happy to help you. If you've enjoyed watching it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button at the top right hand side of your screen. If you'd like to buy any of the products here, I'd love to earn your business. Please click on the link below to go to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.